Hello and welcome back to The Finishing Line, the only show where you get actual, honest opinions. There's Poppy. She wants to say hello. She's new.
New mascot. There's no dinosaur anymore, is it?
Say hello, Poppy. And all of us are here. This feels a bit like deja vu because we tried to do this last week. Tom's internet broke. We were down the gym. The sound was terrible. And Sean wasn't here, but we managed to sort it all out. And all four of us are back for another season of Jumps Racing. Andrew, how you doing?
I'm grand, Dave. How are you?
Yeah,
Someone
I'm
says
all right.
hi, Poppy. Someone said hi to Poppy.
Thanks, Robert.
Poppy has more
Poppy
fans than us.
Poppy can't talk, so she can't say hi back, but I'm sure she's happy. Thomas, how you doing?
I'm all good, David. Yes, all good. Yeah, all good. Summered well. Since we were last on. So yeah, looking forward to the jumps getting back. Just kind of
Can we give Tom a round of applause for doing high roxes, running marathons, losing weight? I'm sure that comment is for you, Tom. Whoa, you all look like you've been in the gym. That's for everybody. Andrew's been in the gym as well, but Tom has completed many fitness goals over the months that we've been gone. So give it a round of applause.
Thank you. I need to shave as well. This beard actually adds about 2 stone to me, I believe. So yeah, Chicago Marathon coming up next week, which is a big one. So
for a man that took so long to get into fitness, you'll have 2 marathons done in a year and a couple of high roxes. Well done.
Yeah.
Sean, how you doing?
Yeah, all good, Dave. Summered well, as Tom said. With a rough old season last year, finishing up college, but it's all done now and I'm out the gap. So what else can go wrong? Yeah.
Thought you were on about your anti-post-ups there when you said you had a rough old season.
We're back.
How's life in the real world of working and tax and all that kind of crack?
Fantastic, Dave. Fantastic.
Great, isn't it? Fun.
Try and pay as little of them as possible and you'll do all right in life.
Good comment there. Looking well, Thomas. The John McConnell comparisons are now behind you.
Let's not get carried away now. We're still there.
Poor John. So we're here for kind of the first show of the year that we've done the last couple of years, flop or not. We'll get through it as best we can. There's a good few horses in it. We're going to try keep the shows to an hour max this year. Sean Sinnott's in here. Tell Tom.
We're going
to elaborate on that, Tom. So everyone
we're going to have to add context.
Yeah, I was going to say that Tom's horses have been running well through the summer, and he now has a greyhound or 2 greyhounds. And it's been in
the making for a while, hasn't it, Tom?
I'll let you finish that story, Tom.
Favouring Gorn tomorrow in the first.
We've been talking about this greyhound for years, and fair play to Sean Sinnott there. Finally got me to pull the trigger. So we've a dog called Pimlico Princess, named after my lovely wife Siobhan.
Does she know you, Tom?
Who I might add is not a dog.
She does know. Yeah. She wasn't overly happy about it at the start, but she's got with it now. So the dog's had 2 races. Apparently, she tried to kill about 3 or 4 dogs in her last race. The video isn't even online. It was that bad. And she's running on Saturday. So we're going to see her on Saturday. So watch out for content if she wins. If she doesn't win, there probably won't be much. But yeah, keep an eye on
do it down at live, Tom. You have to record that and put it up on Twitter. That'd be gas.
Yeah, exactly. We can compare it to the Zoffley Bay video, can't we? Of him winning the Tramore Derby.
Any other news, Andrew? We want to talk about how's your riding out going?
I'm out in Henry's in about 2-3 weeks. I started riding in an equestrian centre out in Tramore, Lakeview Stables. Legs are in tatters, knees is in tatters, back is in tatters, but it's fun. I'm nearly 2 stone lighter than I was when we finished the podcast in.
Yeah, your head is not as swollen as it was, to be fair.
What a dickhead! Wow, you absolute ball prick. But yes, you're right though.
To be fair,
right, I was carrying a bit of condition I'm not going to lie.
I'd imagine you last year as well.
Myself and Tom actually had a what was it, 7 o'clock every Tuesday for a good 3 or 4 months in the morning.
I'd say maybe
So
6 weeks, and Tom is still going, but you're not. So
I don't do it mornings anymore.
We were meant to do a high rocks together, and I had to get a new partner 2 weeks before. That's all you need to know from that story.
And I wasn't supposed to be doing it, and I ended up doing it as well.
My body,
but
my body's.
Go on, Andrew.
No, my body's just fuck, plain and simple.
It's good to be back. Good to have the four of us back. I wasn't around much last year. I had a few health complications again, but we're going to try and stay 100% this year so we can get to the end of the season and have some crack doing it. Like I said, flop or not, today we'll rattle through a good few horses. We'll get as many in as we can of the list here. Before we start that, if you're new here, please like and subscribe. If you're not new here, throw in the comments. We'll get to them as we go along, especially the funny ones, and we'll throw some up. We'll have a little bit of banter towards the end when we get through a good few of these horses. We pick out a few comments and go back on them. Next week, what's next week? Our horses to follow.
Horses to follow, yeah.
And then we'll be rattling straight into jump season. We'll have Chepstow then, and as everyone knows, it kicks on from there. So, flop or not, we'll try not waffle through these. Just give the horses a reason or two, maybe, why they are a flop or won't be a flop, and we'll rattle through as many as we can. First one, bumper winner last year, Bambino Fever. Sean, first.
I'd say she's a no. I'd say because she's going to go down the mare's route, in my opinion. I don't see how she runs in the Supreme or runs in the Ballymore. I can see her staying against her own sex this year. And look, she had her in to beat the Geldens last year, so something's going to have to come out of left wing to be beating her. Though you've seen a few of them boost the form at the Stowe last week, Carrickmore and the Spruce, and then a couple of horses. So I'd say the mares are probably above average, but she was able to beat all the Geldens, so I suspect she's going to take some beat in that mare's novice division.
Tom?
I'm going to go flop. I would question the form of the champion bumper. There were plenty in that. If you look at the one she beat, 66 to 1 shot, 150 to 1 shot, I think, in the places. And they kind of all beat each other last year, those bumper horses. And when Sean says about one coming out of the woodwork, you just never know with all those horses, all those mares who didn't go the bumper route. Maybe they came from France, maybe they came from the point-to-point field. There's like air of entitlement last year. You wouldn't have thought she'd have been winning a mare's novice at all. So I just think, I couldn't tell you who it's going to be, but I would take her on at the minute.
For me, I kind of agree with Sean and Tom. If she was going down the mare's route, I'd be happy to be with her. But if she goes down the Supreme Novice Hurdle, I would think she will flop. Too many bumper winners have kind of gone by the wayside as well. So I'd say flop. Andrew?
I don't think she will. I think her form is a lot better than some are making out. Like, you could take the likes of Carrickmore and the Spruce. She's had to go on to win a Grade 3 bumper at the Punchdown Festival. She hacked up then on her debut over her hurdles. Heads Up, who was second, won on the same card as Carrickmore and Spruce. He was second to Bambino Fever in Cheltenham. Like, you have the likes of that form, Heads Up form times in with Colcannon and horses like that who bolted up in, not bolted up, but won well in Grade 2 bumpers. I think it's good form. I can't see her how she is going to be a flop in regards to, as Sean alluded to, that there is a lot of mares races down the line. Can't see her going Supreme. Her pedigree is just all stamina, and just too many races for her to be a flop. So I think she'll have a good season.
Okay. Next one, Kopek. Kopek the board, Supreme Novice winner from last year. I think this lad is more than likely the real deal, so I'm going to say not a flop. A little bit worried about the back end race last season, but it's Punchestown, and as Tom always tells us, it's for drinking, getting drunk, not having bets,
Points.
and don't worry about the form. So not a flop. Andrew?
I'm kind of in two minds about him. He really reminds me of Ballyburn. The way he races, the way he jumps. I went back and watched his his race on his debut, and it was terrible. He was much better when he bolted up at the DRF. He was good at good enough at Cheltenham, but then his jumping again, then the Punchestown was absolutely horrendous. That is going to be his big downfall if he goes into open company over hurdles. And then will he respect fences if he goes novice chase? And I think there's not much I like about him, the way he carries himself, the way he races. It very much reminds me of the way Ballyburn does things, and I think he's going to be a flop. Look, he'll win his beginner chase, he'll win a grade 2, grade 3 here, but when it comes to the 2 proper grade 1s, and when it comes to the festivals with thousands of people around him, I think he'll flop.
Tom?
Yeah, I don't really want to say flop, but I'd say the jury is out on him for me anyway. I'd be into. I want to see him settle and jump a fence better, but he might respect a fence more than he respects a hurdle. He's a hell of an engine. The day at DRF was crazily impressive, and I'd say that probably took a little bit out of him going to Cheltenham as well. So, yeah, I'll sit on the fence for him, I think.
Sean?
Yeah, look, I can't forget the day that we stood there in the DRF and what he done to that field. It's just, I don't see many horses do that around Leopardstown. And I think there's a lot of learning going on with him, and I think there's so much potential probably still to tap into. Like, he's only had 5 starts on the track. He had 1 bumper run. He went to a maiden hurdle to a grade 1 last season to run in Cheltenham on only his 4th start in the Supreme, and he won it. Like, I know he blew out at Punchestown, but I think he must have been sitting in his box between Cheltenham and Punchestown, because Willie even said on the telly, he looked at him walking around the ring and said, Jesus, I think I left him undercooked. So it's Punchestown, as you touched on, they don't drill them. They're drilled for Cheltenham and they're ready to go. I think he'll come back this season. I'd say there's definitely more to come out of him. As I said, he's very little racing. I think fences will put a few manners on him, and I just look at that division. I know we're probably going to touch on a few more, but for me, it's looking weak.
Yeah, I just think his jumping's horrendous.
Okay, we'll move on. We'll go from novices to some more seasoned horses, and we'll flick back and forth. Is this going to cause you issues with the thumbnails now? Let's go Gaelic Warrior, the horse that has won numerous grade 1s, has his own way of doing things, and lost Tom a load of money by somehow getting beaten the Fred Winder off 129. He's now rated 174 or something. That's one that got away, Tom, I think. And for you, is he going to be a flop or not?
I kind of hope maybe this year's his last year, and he might retire, and then we don't have to talk about the 129 Boodles every fucking season, because it kills me. I've just seen he's only a 7-year-old. God, it seems like he's like, that's a long time ago that we were there. Do you remember handing out garlic bread at the preview in Waterford? Like, that's a long time ago.
It's probably one of the horses that really put the podcast on the map on YouTube for the madness that went on leading the weeks leading up to that. But yeah, it's crazy.
And your man Tony, I think it was, getting me a Gaelic Warrior T-shirt then at the DRF. First year the DRF was back on. Yeah, look, good times, but look, he's not going to be a flop, is he? He's a legend, legend of a horse. I'd say that. I don't know, King George. I don't know. Maybe is he a King George horse? He stayed 3 mile at Aintree. Maybe he would be. That could be a possible with him. He was disappointing the first couple of starts this season, last season, but he really picked it up and got it together there towards the end. So no, there's still life in the old boy yet. He's not going to be a flop.
Yep, not a flop for me either. I think he's great. I was worried at start last year. He looked like he lost the plot. Doesn't seem to go around Leopardstown, but I think they very much figured out how to ride him. Patrick gave him a great ride, and we've given out about Patrick a few times on the podcast for some dodgy ones. But he gave a great ride in Aintree, and when he's on it, he's very, 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 very good. So not a flop for me. Andrew?
I don't want to say flop, but I'm finding it hard to see where his wins come from if he steps up to 3 miles. To me, he probably is tailor-made for a King George. I think that'll suit him down to the ground. He's at the kind of putting the ground issues to bed because he won on fast ground at Aintree. He's not a Gold Cup horse. I'd be shocked if he even ran a Gold Cup, let alone win one. So you're probably looking at he's going to skip Cheltenham. He's probably going to go back to the Aintree Bowl. Yeah, look, you'll probably see him start early over 2.5 or 3 miles, and I think his main target will be the King George and the Aintree Bowl. But when it comes to the likes of Galopin, and I know the way you're thinking, I don't think he'll beat them. He'll win his races, but he's not going to do Gold Cup standard level, I think. It's not flop and not, if that makes sense. On the fence.
That doesn't really make any sense, but Sean.
No, I know. I was like, that doesn't make sense, Andrew. Just move on now.
Sean.
Look, he's supremely talented, but he's just a nutcase. There's something wrong with the wires in the brain. Sometimes the only way I think he's successful this season is if they go to King George. They don't go to King George route. I just don't know where he's going to win his races. He hates Leopardstown. He's ran some poor races around there. Unless you go to Duncan at the start of the season, and I suppose it's a fitness thing. You never know in a race like that. Something might happen, and then he goes to King George.
There's the race at Ascot that Shishkin and all them used to running.
Yeah, what's it?
Was it?
Yeah, is it 365 or what's it? 1965 or something like that? Was it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose if I think he's best campaign in England, to be honest with you. If he targets them 2.5 mile like Pig Dory and all them, if he can't be beating them, well then his days are done. But like Pig Dory's still running around Ascot winning Grade 1s. You can see Willie, if he's gonna go with a championship, there's a handy couple of $100,000 to win one of them races over there. But if he doesn't go down the King George route or the likes of that 1965 chase, he's not beating the likes of Galopin and out of way of thinking factor foil around Leopardstown. So I just don't know where you go if he stays in Ireland.
I agree with some of the comments. He's one of 2 horses I've backed anti-post for Cheltenham. I've him for the Gold Cup, and I've the big Westerner for the Mayor's Chase. So I'd run him in the Gold Cup. Lossiemouth. Not a flop. My favourite horse. She'll run in the Mayor's. They'll try and win the Mayor's again. Then they'll try and beat Quevega's record or equal Quevega's record. They won't run the champion hurdle. Tom?
I have something to say on this actually, because I was quite now. There's two things. I was quite outspoken on her, as in when Willie came out and said that we dented her speed because we taught her to race a different way. That's why she didn't pick up the bridle. Now, I don't fully buy that as the excuse still. I just don't think she took a poo halfway around that day. I just don't think she was on it at all. However, now I've trained for a marathon and I've trained for a 5K. Your speed, I can't run my 5K. I'm about to run a marathon and I can't run my 5K PB because it's completely different training. There is something in it. And I'll take it back because I said it was rubbish last year. It's not rubbish in fairness. But that isn't the reason that that's not completely the reason that she ran bad that day.
That's the reason, but throw it out the window, doesn't matter.
It's the official reason. There might be something in the official reason, but still not good enough for me. But yeah, no, I think she's class. She's by far the best mare. I think they'll have a whack at the champion hurdle this year. For me, it seems wide open. You've got novices coming into. Let's just read the comment there.
Oh, that hurts me. Man is doing my head.
Wow, it's very true.
Yeah,
Ruben Amarin could get anyone he beat at the minute, I'd say.
Highland is scoring goals in the fucking Champions League.
Yeah, everyone who leaves there does good. Strange, that, isn't it? So look, I think they'll go the champion hurdle route. I know she got beaten by her. I know she beat Wodhooh in Aintree, but I think we'll get onto Wodhooh. But I think she's a very good mare. And I think that champion hurdle is wide open. You've got novices who are like favourite for that and stuff. So champion hurdle year for Lossie. Try and give her £7. I don't think you'll be able to do it.
Andrew?
Yeah, I can't see her being a flop at all. If she was mine, I'd 100% be running her in a champion hurdle. It's now or never for her. If they don't do it now, they're never going to do it. Like you can forgive her the run at Kempton, and she proved that she was you could after her 2 runs. After that, she's a very fast mare. I take with a pinch of salt what Woody said, obviously, about we trained her and we took speed out of her. It affected her at Kempton. A lot of horses don't really act around Kempton. Her best runs have come at Cheltenham. She's unbeaten at Cheltenham. There's no reason why she shouldn't go. As Tom alluded to, there's novices as the favourites. You State Man, who probably will never get the credit he deserves, as Sean says, and it's true. You've Constitution Hill, who God only knows what it's going to go. And as Tom said there, best luck at trying to give her £7 when she's A1 around Cheltenham. I don't think she's going to be a flop. She'll run in the mares races until then, and I think she'll have a mighty chance to win the champion hurdle.
Sean?
Yeah, I agree with the lads. Look, she kind of go. It tells you enough that Gordon's not sending the Hupu to the Hamptons Grace because he knows he hasn't got a chance of beating her around there again. After Willie sent, yeah, like he's gonna go the long walk. He's already suggested that. So there's the Hamptons Grace already in the bag, and you get down to Christmas. I think the chance of our meeting State Man will be at the DRF again. And I think a lot will depend on the champion hurdle run then on that race. And look, I don't know what happened at Leopardstown last year. It was the freakiest thing ever that she's done. She just completely went down to a hurdle and just headbutted it out of the floor, gave herself a nasty old tumble, and people are worried about her. But she goes to Cheltenham and she grows another leg. I just think around there she's phenomenal. She's better than she is anywhere else. And I think that's the key thing when you have the champion hurdle in mind, that Lossiemouth is good, but she's even better around Cheltenham. And that has to be remembered. So, look, I think she'll go on a full romp this year, and I hope she goes down the champion hurdle route.
Okay, let's rattle off a few fast ones. Amsterdam, flop for me. Andrew?
I don't have enough evidence from him to say he's going to be a champion hurdler, so I'm going to say when he comes into the likes of all them, he's going to be a flop.
Sean?
Yeah, look, he has the engine there, no doubt, but he's made a Weetabix, so until he can keep her all together for a full season, well then, you can't trust him, unfortunately.
Thomas?
What was the horse last year that Sean said was the second coming? It was absolutely shite. It was rated like 150 after beating some donkey somewhere.
Mr. Policeman.
Mr. Policeman. Mr. Policeman. Mr. Policeman 2.0 here. You can keep hands in it.
Oh, beautiful.
Il Ete Tomp, the little moose. I like him. Not a flop. Andrew, let's go same route again here.
I think he's going to be the surprise package in the 2 mile division. He's not going to be a flop. He has to stay together.
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah, look, I think he's. We're obviously going to touch on the other lad at one point. The novice is coming through, but I think he's probably the most consistent one that Willie can probably rely on in that 2 mile chase division this year. And look, like you Barry Connell, that'll tell you Marine National won't go on soft ground, and you won't see the best of him until Cheltenham. So you have Christmas and stuff like that. I'd say Elite Tomp will be taking a lot of beating that sort of race around Leopardstown.
Tom?
Yeah, little dude of a horse. Obviously, the injury that he had that kept him off the track for 6 days short of a year is obviously a bit concerning going into next season. You don't really know what's going to happen there, but when he turns up, he's absolutely class, isn't he? And he's so consistent, and he's an absolute pony of a horse as well. So, no, he's not going to be a flop. Where if he turns up, he'll be good.
Golden Ace. She'll struggle to win races, I'd say, again this year. She fell in the champion hurdle, so flop for me. Andrew?
Can't see her winning race this season. Well, she probably won it that Unibet hurdle or something like that, but when it comes to the proper grade 1 horses, she has no hope in hell.
Sean?
Yeah, in terms of a champion hurdle picture, I don't see him myself, but you look, if a couple of horses there, maybe could she Christmas hurdle or something like that, might pick up depending on what runs in them races. Like if Constitution Hill, is he going to come back in the new line? I don't look, we get on to him as well, but she might win races like that, but I don't think she's going to be in the champion hurdle picture this year.
Tom?
Yeah, no, I don't think she's champion hurdle horse, but I think she showed that she's definitely a 2 miler. She ran well against State Man at Punchestown. I know we're saying about Punchestown form, but still, like she wasn't beaten out the back of the telly, and she beat Burdett Road at Wincanton. So I think whatever she turns up in the UK, I think she's going to mix it with fairly highly. But there's going to be a few that are better than her when it comes to it in the proper grade ones.
Yeah, okay, let's touch on a few Nikki Henderson horses. We'll go Sergino first. Tom.
Yeah, I like Sergino. It's going to be interesting to see if he's going chasing. I think there was a picture of him there recently at Nicky's, and he looks the size of a house. So he was saying he might be back for Christmas. Was that right? I'd say Christmas 2026, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much.
But look, if he gets back to the track, I like him. He's just going to be. If he had 2 runs this year, I'd be surprised. That's kind of if you were putting it on a spread, I'd say 2 runs this year.
Sean.
Only pet peeves at the moment is looking at him at the top of the champion chase. If you're backing him for that, you need to give your head a serious old wobble. Look, he was dynamite.
We need a serious wobble.
He was dynamite. He was unbelievable the first time he went over a fence, and look, I was mega excited by him. But he's then done a bad old tendon injury by the sounds of it. He's been out for a long time. They're already him and hawing about getting him back before Christmas. So then you're already after Christmas and what you've one run to Cheltenham. It's not going to be ideal. I don't want to doubt him. I think the ability is in there, but was the injury done to him? No one will know until he gets back to the track. So I sort of sit on the fence a little bit, to be honest.
Andrew.
I like him. I think he's a very, very good horse, top class horse. But again, horses that have injuries like this, how often do we see them come back to their best? You obviously get the odd few who are the exception to the rule. But I'm like Tom. I'd be surprised if we see him this season.
Yeah, I'd have to sit in the fence as well. I'm not sure exactly what he bet beating Ballyburn that day. That horse is a lunatic and he's not able to jump. And then he's had so many issues. So if I had to pick, I'd say a flop. But I'd like to see him back. What about Jonbon, Andrew?
Jonbon. Oh, you're asking me.
Yes.
It's hard to know where he's going to go. They're still adamant that they're going to go 2 miles with him. He'll win the Slur Chase at Cheltenham at the November meeting. He's just not going to win a champion chase. If we're talking about Cheltenham wise, he's not going to win a champion chase. He'll win the Slur Chase. There's talk about if King George's and whatnot. Look, I think he's going to be a flop. I think he's gone past his best. He's a year older. His jumping is not the best when it comes to around Cheltenham either. Yeah, not a big flop, but I just don't think he will be as good as he was. I'm Poppy. Poppy jumps
Eat the microphone.
Poppy jumps better.
Tom.
Yeah, you can't really say he's going to be a flop, can he? Like, he's never been outside the first 2, but he does have his vulnerabilities, especially around Cheltenham. Like we saw that in the champion chase, and then he flew up the hill. So look, it's hard to know. Do they go up to being a Ryanair horse? I don't know. I think it depends on some of the opposition maybe and what else JP has, but I couldn't say he's going to be a flop because he's a dude of a horse. But yeah, it's you couldn't hang your hat on saying he's going to go and definitely win one of those championship races.
Yeah, I like him a lot. He wins so many races, but not a flop. But I don't think he's going to win the champion chase anyway. Or struggles around Cheltenham. Sean.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head. The likes of Tingle Creeks and like that. Willie's not sending horses over. That English 2 mile division is fucking honking stuff. So I just don't see how he gets beat in those sort of races. Your slurs, as Andrew said. But come the festival, no, he shits the bags. Come the festival, doesn't he? He throws in a stinker. He does something wrong and just he can't do it on the festival. So whatever that hoodoo is, that's over him. I can't see him breaking it.
And Con Hill, for me, this lad just
you
won't
got to
come
start
back.
with Sean. Surely,
Yeah,
come on, don't give him any outs there,
Yeah.
Sean.
For me, he's
I have to
just-
give him a song.
Stop.
Go on,
Sean.
go on.
He's done. I'd say he's done.
Oh,
Oh wow!
Yeah, I
This. Oh, I'm clipping
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
This will be on Twitter now in the next 20 minutes.
I
He's
just
done.
don't
That's
see.
the headline.
Yeah.
That's the headline from this show. He's done.
I just don't know. Like, did you see some of the shite that
Hold
was
up, man.
coming
I
out?
have to timestamp this.
Like, you had Nikki
Give me
coming out
minutes.
telling them you get eye tests and all this banana stuff, but like, I just don't know how
Sure,
he
well,
comes back.
Welcome to
two-
the dark side, my friend.
It's fun
I'm
over
not-
here. You like it, Sean?
Like, he took 2 howlers. He fell at Cheltenham. He fell at Aintree. And I don't even know what happened at Punchestown. He went down to the first and he gave it about 15 foot of air. Unfortunately, the boy that is no longer intact, or there's something gone wrong in there. And I just don't know. I can't see him coming back.
Yeah, for me, a flop as well. Just they rarely come back from stuff that's like that. So even never the same horse last year. Even the day at Kempton, Lossie never turned up, and he just didn't beat those other horses by far enough. Tom,
Oh, whoa now.
You're going to say.
Yeah, answer a bit quicker, please.
if there's anyone who can get one back like this, it's Nikki. If you put a line through last season, then and I was full on you could see a fall was coming. I know Sean couldn't, but everybody else and a few other horse racing Twitter people couldn't, in fairness as well to Sean. But
it's a change of the he's got new prescription lenses he puts in now.
I don't buy any of that shite. The horse has just got too much natural ability for his own good, and was just taking a chance. It was just taking a chance at a few, and it finally got the better of him, and then he's lost the head, I think. If he's had a nice summer break and he comes back in a different frame of mind, then I think he's got a chance of coming back. But as you say, Dave, he wasn't beaten. Like, he beat Brentford Hope 3 lengths, and he beat a well under par Lossie 2 lengths. So, look, head says flop. The heart says if anyone can get him back, it's Nikki.
Andrew.
And if anyone can make him worse, it's Nikki. It's like facts. No, I can't see him coming back. As Tom said, the fall was coming. We saw it all last year, a mile away that was going to come. We didn't see it coming twice in a row now. And then at Punchestown, we're all standing at the stand at that hurdle where he literally ballooned it. I don't buy into this bullshit as well. They're going to Specsavers and all that. I played half my career without contacts and glasses, so I could see the bloody ball coming to me. Didn't make much of a difference, but anyway, it's a different story. I can't see him coming back. I'd love to see him come back because there's races to be won with him.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting now if they have him ready for the fighting fifth at Newcastle, because there's talk of the new line going there as well. If he's, you know how he is. If Dan Skelton comes out and said the new line is definitely going, Nick comes out and says, yeah, Con Hill is going as well. If Con Hill is back to anywhere near what they think he is, he'll run him against the new line at Newcastle. I'd like to see him come back. As much as I've given him grief for over the years, and there's a clip of me saying he's the biggest lay of the Cheltenham Festival. It only took me 3 years to be right, but long-term, Tom, and long-term value. I got it right now.
Yeah.
Long-term.
Always played a long term.
But no, I think he's going to be a flop, but it would be good to see him come back.
Okay, let's rattle through another few ones a little bit quicker here. We'll go Grey Dawning. Flop for me. Andrew?
Grey Dawning. Where is Grey Dawning? Good. Oh, there it is.
He's in Dan Skelton's, Andrew.
Oh, sound for that, Tom. Appreciate that, pal. I don't think he's going to be a flop. I think he'll be the one that will win the 3 mile races in England. They don't really have anything there. He'll win the Betfair Chase. He'll probably run in the King George. He might run in that Ascot race as well. I think he'll win his fair shares of races this season. I don't think he's going to be a flop. But when it comes to whether they run him at Cheltenham or not, I don't know. I like the horse. I think he's a very good horse. I've always liked him. I don't think he's going to be a flop.
You really made that very quick. Sean?
Yeah, look, I don't know if they learned a lesson from last season, because they just ended this season at a haydock. They might as well have pulled up stumps after that. If he doesn't go to that fully cooked, I don't see where they win a race, to be quite honest with you. You won't win a King George, not going to win a Gold Cup. He might go up to fucking Kelso or something like that and win a race, but sure, that's irrelevant. So if he's not ready for the Betfair, I don't see where he's going to do it. So be a flop for me.
Tom?
Yeah, he wouldn't be for me. I think he's going to be like, he should have won that race at Haydock last year, shouldn't he? The Betfair, and then he's gone and run shite at Kempton. So no, I'll dodge him.
Davy Crockett, flop for me, and he shouldn't be back in this thing for the Supreme if you ask me. And he run around Listowel 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. So flop. Andrew?
Flop. Not a hope in hell he's winning the Supreme Novice Hurdle.
Sean?
Yeah, he's a flop.
Thomas?
Ooh, didn't see that coming. Yeah, he's gonna be one of these that he's gonna go into like a Royal Bond, and you're kind of not gonna know, and then he's gonna get beat, and then you're gonna be like, why did I think that a horse running around Listowel was a Supreme Novice horse? So, yeah, lovely horse, but I think when the winter horses come out, there's gonna be a few better than him.
He's priced.
The only thing I'd say is, imagine you could see a winter horse run twice and still get 12-1 for the Supreme. It'd be great crack.
Like, he's literally just priced up on who he's by, but not what he's done.
What about Marine
Got
National?
a few horses like that recently. Mares normally. Blue and red colours, I think.
Yeah, them ones.
And Geldings, actually.
Oh, grade 1 winning ones.
Marine National. Andrew?
Flop. Don't like the horse. Never have, never will.
Wow. Sean?
Yeah, look, I don't know, because he doesn't have him ready apparently until he gets to Cheltenham fully primed, and I don't know. I just
think it's bullshit working God's Green Earth.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's a couple of horses there in the champion chase. It's hard to go and do 2 back to back now. He's won a Supreme, he's won a champion chase. It's hard to call him a flop, isn't it? But like, yeah, sure, why not?
Like, if he's not going to be ready, he's not going to be ready by Cheltenham, so he's going to get beat apparently all the way till Cheltenham, then get beat at Cheltenham, then get beat at Punchestown. So
yeah, like the ground's a massive thing, but if he gets quick ground that goes against a lot of them horses that are in there, I think lightning quick ground obviously plays into his favour and goes against a couple of the others. So if he does, but what's the chances of getting 2 good ground festivals year after year? I'd say slim.
Tom?
He's going to need the ground, but I was quite impressed with him at Cheltenham. I know Galixios fell at the last, but the way he quick and clear and ran on up the hill, like I don't think he'd have beaten him. I think the winner won fair and square that day, and then he came out of Punchestown. He was good. I would say he's not a Leopardstown horse. I know those 2 races at Leopardstown were run very strangely, but he also bombed out there at the DRF the year before, and at Nace as well. Another, I know Cheltenham's left-handed, but it's a lot different to Nace. He's bombed out there as well. So, and he goes to Punchestown and he's very good. So I think it's going to rely on the ground. You couldn't back him anti-post, but I think people will be happy to rule him out because they'll say Jonbon didn't run his race, which he made a terrible mistake. Obviously he didn't, but yeah, I think he could be a big price come Cheltenham.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Tom. If he runs 3 stinkers and you get good ground there, well, not 3 stinkers, but 3 poor runs and you get good ground at a festival and he's 10-1 or something like that, then you're saying to yourself, it's a different ball game.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I just think a lot of the horses in the Jonbon doesn't really act around Cheltenham. A lot of the horses are just stinking the division. So
You look at his Cheltenham form, like it's good.
How about Big Majborough? For me, he doesn't jump well enough, and he'll end up on the deck a couple of times. So flop. Andrew?
Unbelievable engine, massively talented, needs to brush up on his jumping big time. If they manage to get him to getting from A to B, you saw the engine he has at Punchestown. If he stays in the feet, he's to me he's much more talented horse than Marine National. I think Marine National has had races handed from by horses that fell. I think what's the horse that fell at Punchestown was going to beat him? Can't think of his name. Shine manure colours.
El Fabiolo.
Fabiolo is going to be.
Sean.
Yeah, Marsborough. I don't think he's going to fix that jumping, Dave. I really don't think he is.
So
He showed at every single start this tendency to want to go left-handed. He done it at Ferdy House. He ran down all his fences at Leopardstown. And the thing about Cheltenham is he wants to go left and he can't because there's a rail. And he just can't sort himself out. And that's how he ends up headbutting the fences. Like the engine must be unbelievable. How he was even able to be in the mix coming up that hill after face planting the second last and just running out through the last to still be in the mix of that. It's like his engine is unreal, but I just don't think that jumping is going to fix itself. You've seen him going around Punchestown. He was running out to the stands nearly. He wants to go left the whole time. And even it's funny because at Leopardstown, usually they race on the outside. So like he runs down the whole fence. But when you're in Cheltenham, he's up against the rail. I just don't think he's able to figure his feet out. He's not able to sort himself out, and he just goes out through the fence when he can't do that. And you know what it's like a champion chase. You miss one fence, you're gone.
Tom.
Yeah, I think ask me after his first run of the season. Horses, like he's only had 4 runs over fences, and he only had a couple of runs over hurdles, I think, as well. So, like there is a possibility he can go and brush up his jumping, but he needs to. But if he can, like as you said, the engine is massively there. So, yeah, I just want to see him now, another year older, a bit more experience under his belt, and we'll see where we go. So I'll sit on the fence for now.
Okay, we'll do another JP one. Probably a lot of different views on this. The new line. Sean.
Right. This is my big pointer. I don't think he's any use to the level that he's winning the champion hurdle. Like, if him up the top of that champion hurdle market is baffling my mind. You've Stateman, who turns up every single season and hasn't showed any glimpse of stopping when bolting up at Punchestown. You've a potential of Lossiemouth going in there as well. Like, you've a 167, 168 horse. He needs to improve, I'd say, 10 pounds to get within their level. And we've seen him with Empire Pass. It's not easy to go and make that level. We've seen him with every horse that's come through since. You have to get past Stateman before you can even consider the champion hurdle. And they're yet to get past him. I think it's a big jump. He's gone on one of Turner's where I think the best horse in the race was ridden incorrectly. They only had him. He's only had 3 runs that he learned in that race, the Final Demand. He's ended up beating the Yellow Clay, who I think hasn't a hope of going anywhere near the Open Company this season. I don't think he'll be anywhere near the stairs. So he's beaten 2 3-milers, and the Yellow Clay has made him walk all the way to the line. It's not like he's arrived up on the bridle and cruised up the hill and won and sprinted away like other horses in previous years. So I just don't see the level he needs to climb to. I think is phenomenal, and for him to be 7-2 or something at the top of the champion hurdle market is crazy. He can go and win the fight in 50. He'll probably win at Kempton at Christmas because he hasn't got much to take on. I hope he gets to the champion hurdle unbeaten and he'll be a smash lay. I just don't think he's up to the level of a Stateman, Lossiemouth, them types of horses.
Flop for me as well. There's no way he has speed to beat Stateman or Lossiemouth, in my opinion. He met 2 slow horses, and that don't mean they're bad horses, but they're slow horses. Final Demand is a big 3-mile chaser, and the Yellow Clay is a 3-mile horse as well. So a flop for me. I think it's madness that he's shorter in price than Stateman. Andrew.
I think it's madness that he's so short for a champion hurdle, but this fella's a machine. I didn't like him up till his jumping.
This happens to you all the time.
No, it's not. If you go back and watch his races, you're saying he doesn't have the speed.
You falls for this English horse once a year.
Well, this fella's getting the kiss of death then. You go back and watch it. Look, we're all on about the fucking race he won at Newbury, the shallow hurdle course. Finally someone broke the shallow hurdle course. What I impressed so much about him is his cruising speed and his jumping. He jumps like a champion hurdler. I'm not saying he's going to win the champion hurdle. I'll back Stateman every day of the week for a champion hurdle again. But the 2-mile, if he'll run the 2-mile division in the UK, you have a Constitution Hill who God only knows what's going to turn up. He has speed. He jumps electric. He can be chancy, which is might be to his detriment. That race at Cheltenham, to me, that's by far the best novice race at Cheltenham last season. Them 2 in behind him are 2 top-class horses. Final Demand is an absolute weapon. The Yellow Clay, I rate that horse very highly. I thought he's after beating 2 high-class horses, in my opinion. Shouldn't be favoured in a million years for the champion hurdle right now. But he's going to win races, and I think he's going to end up being a very, very good horse.
Tom?
I think he's very good. I think that form of the Turners is very, very good. I think the 3 of them are very good horses. I do agree though, Dave. I think they're stayers. Final Demand is a boat. I think he's got a very high cruising speed, but he's definitely a stayer in my book. I couldn't have him at this price. I know what Sean's saying. Sean sticks to the you got to get past state, man. I don't think he is gonna give Lossiemouth £7. Could be wrong, but if you asked me now, if there was a race, if the champion hurdle was tomorrow, I'd take Lossie getting £7 any day of the week.
We will do 2 more fast ones and 2 more kind of longer known horses. Fast one, let's go the Big Westerner. Andrew?
Hard to know. I don't think she's going to be a flop. I think you can ride off the run. She had a Fairy House. She got beat by a very good horse in Jasmine DeVoe in the Bartlett. I rate that horse. I think he'll go unbeaten next season in the 3 mile division. I think he'll win the stairs again. Not again, but he'll win the stairs this season. She's every bit of a chaser. If she goes to mares, to me, she's probably nailed on to win a mare's chase. Where they go with her at the start, I don't know. I don't think she's going to be a flop.
Sean?
No, she won't be a flop. She'll win her beginners, and if you ever want to have a Stones on her, I'd say it's Limerick Christmas, that chase that's down there. She'll just go through that ground. I know, what's the mare's one? Another one, the Allegory de Vassy.
Oh, yes.
Well, Luminescence. No, like, she won't be beaten that. I can already tell you that. It's September. But, like, that sort of race, I can't see her taking on the Geldings. I don't see it happening again this season. I think she'll stick to our mare's division route. It's a nice program there, a couple of races to win, and I'd say she's definitely going to be up the top of that mare's chase list.
Tom?
Yeah, I don't think she's not going to be a flop. She should have won at Cheltenham. Another day, I think she would have won. Forget about Fairy House. Then I'm not interested about that at all. And yeah, I think Sean could be on something there with the Limerick race. But I think she's very exciting. She looks like she'll improve for a fence, and she looks like she gallops all day long and likes a bit of soft ground. And then at Cheltenham went on a bit of better ground. So yeah, I think she's a live one, and I couldn't tell you where she'd end up because she's going to be a novice. So I don't know. You'd have to see what the mare's chase looks like. But yeah, I think she's very exciting either way.
Yeah, not a flop for me, and I think she'll win the mare's chase. It's never an overly superb race. Even as a novice, I think she can win that. Fact to foil, not a flop for me. I think he'll win back-to-back Ryanair's. That's what the season will be geared around, so I think he'll do that again. Andrew?
Not a flop. He's the next Wodhooh, isn't he? Just tailor-made for Ryanair. I've come on board to the fact the foil camp. He's a very good horse. Look, there's no doubting about it. He's just doesn't see out 3 miles properly, I would say. He could come there, and I think the last half furlong sees he doesn't really see it out strongly. Where they go with him, Clonmel Oil Chase probably. Christmas, you don't know where he's going to go, but not going to be a flop. I think he's nailed on to win another Ryanair.
Sean?
Yeah, Dave, I've backed one double for Cheltenham, and it's Final Demand to win the RSA and Fact of Foil to win the Ryanair. I think it's about 16 to 1. And they beat me 2 stars, I'd say, the season. I just think this lad, he's just going to get it. The only fear I have, and please God it doesn't happen, is that Galopin is at the going 10 steps backwards for some reason. That's the only way can't see that he doesn't turn up in the Ryanair. I just hope that Galopin keeps producing his wins around Leopardstown and he goes to Gold Cup, because if Galopin doesn't, then Willie's Gold Cup horse is probably going to be him. But you have the JP factor as well. I know the way you're thinking, but I just don't see how Willie's not going to have a Gold Cup runner effective if Galopin goes backwards. So that'd be my only fear. But I can see him going down the route of John Duncan. My dream would be go to a King George. I think he'd rip that apart, but I just don't know if you bring him across the water. He'd stay 3 miles around Kenton or Apollo. He needs speed. And then, look, he'll tip around somewhere before Cheltenham, and he'll hose up in the Ryanair.
No fear, Sean. He'll turn up in the Ryanair. Tom?
Yeah, look, I love this horse, and I was screaming for him to be ridden positively and just let off down the back somewhere, because he just breaks horses. He did that again at Cheltenham. He didn't do it. He wasn't allowed to do it, really, because of the tactics at Leopardstown. I think, they'll start off in the John Durkin, won't they, and go from there. Be interesting to see, do they go back to Leopardstown over 3 miles, or do they keep him at the 2.5 mile trip and go somewhere else? But he's another one. Like, is he a King George horse? Potentially. Favours a horse who's ridden up with the pace and can travel very well and can kick on from a long way out. He could be a King George horse. I think the Ryanair is there for the taking. You look at the betting, and a lot of, like we talked about, Madgebury, he's got it up his jumping, but he could be one for the Ryanair. He's also in the Gold Cup market. And then obviously, I know the way you're thinking is the favourite for the Gold Cup. So there's 3 JP horses, and I'd say it's going to be, if I know the way you're thinking and Factofiles are fit and healthy come March, they'll be split up anyway.
The name of the dog is Poppy. For the comments there, what's the name of the dog? Poppy.
Oh.
She was here earlier. She's come back again. And last 2 for this show. They might take a couple of minutes more to go through. One that Tom mentioned, so we will go with Wodhooh first, because I know Sean likes her too. Tom, you can take it away.
Yeah, she's class. In fairness to Sean, he was banging on about her for the Mountain Pipe from a good way out. Saved that anti-post book once again. Yeah.
Now 25 to 1 shots like that, Tom, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. No, she was very good. And Gordon obviously had a mixed week last season, but at Cheltenham, but she delivered the goods all right. And I think she's class. I think there's a bit of her being there will force Lossie to the champion hurdle as well. If the champion hurdle looks open and you've got Wodhooh in your background here, and like, she's still only a very young horse. I'm a massive fan of her, and I think she's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the mares division this year.
Sean?
Yeah, look, I loved that last season. I think it was. I'm full sure Gordon has a share in her, or something to do with the stable. A few of him and his mates own her, or something like that. And I genuinely just think the only reason that she didn't make it to any graded company any earlier is they wanted to nail a Cheltenham Festival winner, and they had her in their hands. The juvenile form was unreal from the year before. It was all working out, and she went and bolted up at Cheltenham, and it just went missed somehow. And all the form in behind, they came out and won, and she went and cruised up in the pipe and dominated. She then went on and was second to Lossie. The only thing is, I suppose Tehupa was touching on, so maybe Gordon hasn't got that. Well, he's brighter days ahead there, I suppose. I'd love to see her over the fence. She's huge. She's absolutely huge. I'd say she's plenty of size for a fence, and I just wonder what the go down a novice chase campaign. I'm not sure. I wouldn't mind seeing her going down that way, but if not, she's going to come to heads with Lossiemouth again in the Hatton's Grace, and I'd say she'd be up there all season anyways.
Andrew?
Very, very good mare. She'll win the mares races as long as Lossiemouth isn't there. She comes up against Lossiemouth beats her. Besides that, she'll win her races. She won't be a flop.
Yeah, not a flop for me either, but I can't see her beating Lossiemouth, but very, very good mare, very good horse. And the last one, a favourite of the podcast for today, Galopin de Champ. And Andrew, I'll leave you take it first.
He'll get beat in the John Durkin. He'll win the Savills. He'll win the Irish Gold Cup. And if the ground is soft or heavy at Cheltenham, he'll win the Gold Cup.
That's not a flop. So, Sean.
Yeah, look, I don't know what happened at Cheltenham last year. I know it probably was the ground being lonely. It probably was, but like you can't say he was finished watching that, because from the first fence he was gone. Like he was ballooning fences, and then he's come back at Punchestown, and he just every time he's really, really doubted. It's like he just gives the two fingers to everyone and says, "Ah, I still have her in the locker." But look, he does nothing wrong. As Andrew said, he get beaten the Durkin. He'll rock up to Leopardstown and full short. He's unbeaten around the place, and you go from there. But the chances of getting two good ground festivals, I've already said it, is slim. So I'm just hoping the ground comes back, and anything to see from Punchestown, the ability is still there. So he's not done yet.
Tom.
No, he's not a flop. Now, if he didn't run at Punchestown, I'd have a massive question mark over him. But he showed at Punchestown he was back to it, so that would make me think that I'm happy enough just to put a line through Cheltenham, because he didn't go a yard from flagfall, and for me that's not even the ground. Like, he's run on better ground before. He's well able to travel, and it literally after a fence it was over for him. So I think his class just got him through to being second, and his guts, in fairness to him. Yeah, looking forward to Cheltenham. Looking forward to Leopardstown. He'll go and win there and raise the roof again, I imagine, as a 10-year-old. And you'd imagine this is his swan song of the year. So
last year, remember the crowds? Oh, that was phenomenal.
The roar when he jumped the third last.
Yeah, look, I don't think it'll be a flop either. He's the only horse for a long time I've seen come back time after time doing those 3-mile races and lose one, and he comes back and wins 3 or 4 more. So he's in the mold of the horses that I started watching years ago, Denman and Kodo Star and that. So I think he'll come back and win a couple of races. We had a few comments there about other horses. We could just keep going for hours. We'll try and do another show on the other horses that we have. Someone mentioned Jasmine DeVoe. There's other ones there like Final Demand, Bob Ollinger,
King Bob,
Billy
King
Money,
Bob.
William Money. There's loads. We'll see what we can do if we get another show on board. But we got there as many there as we could, and kind of touched on the main ones there on the list. Other than that, next week we'll be back and we're going to do our horses to follow. So all of us will have that sorted out. We'll have a horse to follow, our novices and our open chasers and hurdlers, so on and so forth. And then we might come back and do the second stint of flop or not on the horses that we missed out on.
why don't we, thinking off the top of my head, we'll just do the second part next week, and we'll do the horses to follow then after.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do the second part next week, and then maybe go to Chepstow, and in the following week do our horses to follow. It'll still be early on in the season anyway, so we should be all right. Poppy, she's going to try to go into the fire here. That's not good. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. Like I said, we were humming home what to do. We decided to go back live when we could on the Thursday nights, and it seemed to get a good reaction. We've had a lot of people live there, up over 300 watching, which is great when it's considering the season hasn't even started yet. So that bodes well. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. If you've been here before, keep doing what you do. Throw in the comments there. We'll get to them as best we can. Leave comments under the videos if you want a certain horse to be picked up on the second show, and we'll try and fit it in. Other than that, Andrew, thank you very much. Sean, thank you very much. Tom, best of luck with the dog on Saturday on the marathon in Chicago. Please
we got 2 runners. We got a couple of runners over the weekend as well.
A couple of runners in Gorn, sorry, as well. So best of luck with them. You've had a good run of things.
I better mention them just because I'll get given out to them. So, yeah, to Singus Dragon tomorrow. She's favourite, but she should go very well. And then Zurich in Killarney on Sunday should go very well as well. And the horse in the bump tomorrow, we're going to have a look at the ground in the morning. Might not run, so we might wait for another day for her.
Can we just have a moment of appreciation for Chutzpah? What a legend he's turned into.
What a hero. You imagine we literally turned up to a Tremor Derby of 59 and it got called off as we were going in the gate because it rained. Imagine. It would have been 2 out of 2.
We was even down there for that, remember? Place got
Oh,
washed down.
clean that. Yeah, absolute dude of a horse, Chudspell. He might be one for... He might go back over hurdles now at the end of this month, so that could be fun.
Good. Great little horse. On that note, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share the video, comment underneath the video. Poppy wants to say goodbye too. And have a good evening. And thank God the jump season's back.